Welcome, beloved. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. And welcome to the first day of the best of your life. I am Astarius Miraculi. And my message today is awakening the sacral chakra, which is the second chakra. I have been doing a chakra series relative to healing and balancing all of the chakras. Thus far I've done the crown, the brow, which is first eye. Some say third eye, but it's first eye. The throat, the heart, and the solar plexus. And so today it is the awakening of the sacral chakra, which is the second chakra. The chakra that has to do with creation and sexuality. And there's a lot of sexual woundedness that exists within our world, within many, many individuals. And due to the sexual woundedness, many of us are very creatively blocked. So today is about healing those blockages, opening the resonance of this second chakra, and moving into a greater expression of creation force, and coming into a realization of who we are as an individual creator, as well as a universal creator, because we create on both levels. We create on the individual level because we are our own individual version of the whole universe. We create on the universal level because we are cellularly at one with every being who creates anything, anywhere, and anywhen in the entirety of the whole universe. So we create individually and we create universally. Most people tend to own only the individual expression of creation, or they don't see any reality of themselves as a creator other than that which they create individually. But that's a grave limitation. Our individual creations would be considered to be our primary creation, but then we are at one with all creations that exist in the whole of life. And so in order to come into the full measure of our empowerment, we must recognize who we are as universal creators, which then also helps to heal, balance, and awaken this sacral chakra. Before I get into all of the particulars of this experience of today, I want to share some of my didgeridoo. This is for the purpose of grounding in a divine alignment with the second chakra, with the sacral chakra. When I play the didgeridoo, I play with circular breathing, so there's no gaps in the sound. And the uninterrupted sound is a reflection of the endless nature of eternity. So this is the wake up the eternal connection within your being and call you home to your absoluteness, to call us home to our absoluteness. Receive this and maybe even tone along with it. Honor, thanks, and praise to the tribal Aborigines of Australia as the tribal vessel through whom the didgeridoo has found its way to the world. I love you so much. Oh, it's time to fly well. It's time to expand. It's time to grow. It's time to come into a greater expression of creation force, for we are our own version of the universe. So I want you to feel into that reality, that nobody can do the universe exactly like you, that you are a version of the universe. And as a version of the universe, the expansion of the universe is at the mercy of your personal growth. When you grow individually, the universe grows also. So this is about awakening the sacral chakra, which has to do with creation, has to do with sexuality, has to do with intimacy, has to do with our feeling nature. Anything that we create by virtue of a connection to this sacral chakra, this second chakra. And so in order to be the full creators that we're able to be, we have to heal all of the sexual woundedness. You know, there's a tremendous amount of sexual woundedness, a tremendous amount of erotic shame. Some of the first experiences of erotic shame and some of the first experiences of sexual abuse began when we were very little children. And not just that overt abuse that happens where, you know, a child is sexually abused by some older person, but even the subtle forms of sexual abuse. Like when a little child is caught by a parent and they're masturbating, they're self-pleasuring or something of that nature. And then they're shamed and they're spanked. This too is a form of sexual abuse, because it's waging a violent expression onto this little one for their own self-exploration of their body. And it isn't that parents mean to be abusive in that way, they're just uninformed themselves. And once upon a time, I as a parent was also uninformed in that way. But we want to know that this is an area wherein healing is required. So we're going to offer some tones now to bring about a healing for all of the children that were ever spanked or scolded or shamed for the exploration of their own body and the discovery of self-pleasuring, and even little boys who oftentimes have been told, if you touch yourself in that way, you're going to go blind. This is a form of sexual abuse also. Parents do that, and adults do that out of a fear of the young one becoming prematurely involved in sexual things and experiences. But there is an abusive something woven into that, so we want to heal that. So tone with me for the healing of all of the little children that were spanked or scolded or shamed for their own sexual self-discovery. And now we want to offer some tones for healing the overt sexual abuse, to heal that wound, to free up all of the blockages that have been created through that wound. Also to send forth healing even unto the sexual perpetrators, because when one inflicts sexual abuse upon another, there's a tremendous amount of self-hatred underneath that. And so there's a tremendous amount of healing that is required even there, even onto the abusers. So this is for the healing of those of us who have been abused and those of us who have been abusers. Tone with me. Life is beautiful. Life is precious. And the energy that creates life is precious. This sexual force is creation force. The same energy that makes babies is the same energy that heals the body, the same energy that gives vitality to the body, the same energy that creates everything. And so the more harmoniously aligned we are with sexual energy, the more powerful we are as creators. And there's so much in life that we're meant to create. Each and every one of us, being our own version of the universe, have an offering that no one else can bring forward. And until we heal the blockages associated with this sacral chakra, we are not able to come forth as the creators that we are absolutely meant to be. The orgasm is that which creates physical life. We have all earned our incarnation into this physical expression by virtue of the orgasm that was shared by our parents. And there is a synergy between the orgasm and the cosmogasm. The cosmogasm is that which gave birth to the whole of the universe, as the orgasm gives birth to the individual soul expression. There is an interchangeability between the orgasm and the cosmogasm. The cosmogasm is the oneness of the wholeness of the orgasm. And so we want to have harmonious alignment with this sexual force, the force of sexuality, so that we're not only able to bring forth the birth of babies, but we're able to birth into manifestation those intentions that hold importance for us. And in order to do that, we must heal those things that require healing, the blockages associated with the second chakra. Healing all of the abuses and all of the perversions. Even when we judge another being because we feel that they are misbehaving sexually, unknowingly we are abusing them. That judgment becomes its own form of sexual abuse, because when we judge something, that judgment creates expansion to the thing that we are judging. And so it becomes even more intense in its perverse nature when we judge. So it's important that we don't judge, that even when we see negative expressions of sexual energy, it's important to hold a higher vision of possibility for that being. Then we have planted a significant deposit in their soul bank that they will withdraw at some point when they evolve to readiness. And so let us honor pleasure, honor our emotionality, honor our sexuality, honor our intimacy, all of which have an association with the second chakra. And to heal all of the genital woundedness that exists within the world. Even the sexually transmitted diseases are a reflection of the negative judgments associated with sexuality. It is an outpicturing of sexual abuse, because this woundedness is attaching a negative energy to something that is originally a very pure and a very wonderful energy. The origin of sexuality is innocence and purity. And so we say, Father, Mother God, into your heart we deliver our conscience, so that we will always remember and exemplify your gift of divine innocence. We do this on behalf of all, and the light of eternal forgiveness shines through us. I am, we are eternally innocent. Divine Creator, let us realize the purity of sexual energy, the purity associated with our second chakra, the sacral chakra. And let us be self-forgiving with regards to any of the ways in which we have misused this energy. And Divine Creator, let us be forgiving of those who we witness as misusing this energy, in the recognition that our forgiveness has the power to facilitate redemption, to bring energy back into harmonious alignment. God, Goddess, let us begin to align with and harmonically converge with erotic innocence, transcending all erotic shame. Divine Creator, put your light and your love and your protection all around all of the little ones, all of the children that were in their own personal self-exploration and who were scolded and who were spanked and who were shamed. Let them be healed from that woundedness associated with that scolding, that spanking, and that shaming. And let the adults who have done this unto children also evolve into a greater enlightenment, a greater understanding of sexuality, a greater understanding of sexuality as an extension of creation force. in the recognition that the more harmoniously aligned we are with our own sexual energy, the more powerful we become as creators. Divine Creator, let us be the creators that you meant for us to be. And let us rise into a greater readiness of expressing this creative energy in healing ways, in benevolent ways, in positive ways. Let us remember that we are our own version of the whole universe, that we are divine beings, that we are in fact God having a human experience. Call these human expressions that we are, that divinity is the prevailing force even within our humanness. And let us remember this. I love you so much. Come home to yourself. There is an inner sexual revolution taking place, and that is our coming into divine alignment with the true reality of who we are as sexual beings, as expressions of creation, and how we can begin to express this energy in greater creative ways. You know, it is time to let go of the shame. It is time to let go of the guilt. And it's time to let go of the judgment of this energy. Transiting planet Pluto has been in Capricorn, which Pluto is death, regeneration, and transformation. And Capricorn relates to the status quo and some of the conventions that we have, been so caught up in that don't necessarily reflect the higher truths. But this is all going through a transformational process. And we want to align with this change and align with this transformation and honor who we are in our creative expression and be grateful for this sacral chakra, this second chakra, that is the focalization by which we can be very powerful creators, bringing forth physical life through the birthing of babies, but also bringing about the manifestation of those intentions that we hold dear. It's time to be the powerful creators that we were meant to be. So be sure to partake of the other transmissions on awakening the chakras. There's only one more to go, and that's the root chakra, which will be done sometime within the next week or so. And I am Astarius Miraculi. I love you with the passion of heaven. I also have a number of CDs and a couple of books, so be sure and go to my website and partake of all of that. I am a psychic astrologer, and I practice and teach Reiki, and also do healing transmissions with the didgeridoo and vocal harmonics, located in Atlanta, Georgia. However, I do this work by Skype also, so I do work with people from all over the world. So if you feel like you'd like to connect in that way, please reach out. There's a phone number on my website by which I can be contacted for making these appointments. And also I have a donation button on my website. If you feel moved and blessed by these offerings and you'd like to give a donation or a tithe, I'm greatly appreciative of that. And thank you so much for all of you who have already done that. I have received those donations, and I'm so grateful for that. And I appreciate you playing in the field of win-win. Aho, Ashe, Amen, Namaste, Hotep, In Lakesh, Alakin, Shalom, Satnam, Hariom. Up at the top, there's room for all. It's just the bottom that's crowded, y'all. Our sacred juices are cooked and infinitely expanding, and may we always have miles on our smile, wiggle in our giggle, tingling in our boots, and laughter ever after.